Hello, this is the Insomniac GM, and today I want to introduce you guys to personally my favorite Star Wars RPG. Now, there are other Star Wars RPGs out there. There's the West End games. I can't remember the name of the other one that's currently out. And there's this. There's also the 5th edition version. Well, personally, this is my favorite, and I will fair warn those who are watching, I may get facts wrong in here. I am a Star Wars fan, but I am not a hardcore Star Wars fan, so I'm pretty casual. But personally, this is my favorite version of it, the D20 version, and the reason why I like that is the characters are more tailored, kind of like the movies in a way. What I mean is, for instance, you look at, say, Luke Skywalker. Now, in here, you don't just play a Jedi if you're Luke Skywalker. You'd probably play, like, an engineer, plus some levels of Jedi. Like, this game, let me flip into it. By the way, sorry if I sound weird. Allergies have been hitting me hard. But, so in this game, you have multiple different species. There is a book that has a ton of species. And then you also have your classes. Now, I will go to the classes. So, with how the classes are, you can come in here and you can go somewhat into into one class, into another, and you can keep doing so. Now, another thing too is, let me look where it is located in here. They have prestige classes, which are like, if you meet these requirements, you can go into these, like, prestige classes. I'm not just gonna waste too much time looking for this. I'm just gonna stop. Or wait, did I just find it? I just did. Okay, 263. You can tell I have not gotten to run this yet. I've had ideas for a campaign for this, but... Okay. So, we'll go the Bounty Hunter. So, if you want to take the Bounty Hunter Prestige class, these are your requirements you must fulfill. So, you need to have a base attack score of +6. You need to have these skills at these points, and you need the track feat. So, if you can accomplish all that, you can become a Bounty Hunter. And so now, to do that, you're like 2 classes, or you could be more than 2. Like, the characters are ribboned together a lot more. And I just like the fact, once again, like, I'm making it sound a lot more complicated than it is, but I like the fact you can play these characters the way they are in the movies and that, with the classes and that. Now, you do have your skills, but you also have force skills. Like, okay, well, this is a feat, but you have skills and, now that I mentioned the feats that only Jedis and force users can use. Now, that's another thing, too, is if anyone can be force sensitive. Anyone except droids. So you could play a stormtrooper who is force sensitive, and now it makes you a little bit more lucky. You may call upon the force and not be aware of it. Droids, you can play a droid in here, and they cannot have any force. Now, another thing with this game that I love is when it comes to health and your stamina or whatever it's called, you have two pools of health. One is rather low, and that's your actual hit points. Then you have your other one where you go through that one before you go to your actual hit points. So let's say, you know, in Star Wars where you watch the stormtroopers shooting at like Luke, Han, and Leia, and they can't hit them, they're hitting that first pool of health. Once you deplete that first pool of health, now the attacks are actually making physical contact. And that's why in here, stormtroopers have none of that first pool of health. It's just straight hit points. So you hit them, you go right through their health. I like that with them. Now, they do have rules on vehicles. I'll be honest, I really didn't care too much to read on them. I figured I'd read on them closer to whenever I did run this. I should mention I've been sitting with this game like forever now. I don't know where it is, but equipment in the game. So weapons feel pretty accurate to how they should be, in my opinion. Like, a lightsaber is pretty deadly. But what I really love is, with the way Jedis are set up in here, and Siths, is if you use a lightsaber as a Jedi, compared to like somebody who's like, say, an engineer, a Jedi is going to be more deadly with that lightsaber than an engineer, because a Jedi and a Sith have been trained with a lightsaber and an engineer has not. So you become more like the Mandalorian with it. Now this game also has like, I can't think of what it's called, but you can pull upon the light side and the dark side of the Force. And if you pull onto the dark side of the Force, it's much more powerful. But if you keep pulling from the dark side of the Force, you become a Sith instead of a Jedi. That's another aspect to it too that I do enjoy. They both help you, but the dark side helps you more. Unless you're like much higher in the game, then it's better as a Jedi, but you're trained with the Force at that point. Now, the game also does have like a whole bunch of information about the expanded universe. I don't see where it is, but they got like a whole map of the solar system, all the planets. They tell you the different eras of the game, how to run them in those eras, what you do for those eras. I like that too. Let's see, what else is there? There's the arrows of play. I got some stats. Oh, armor. One thing I love with the armor in this game. So, when it comes to your AC in the game, it's not based on what armor you're wearing. Your armor you're wearing is removing points of damage you're taking. So, if you have, like, say, an armor class of, like, 15, like, two people have an armor class of 15, one's wearing heavy armor, one's wearing no armor, it's just as easy to hit them both, but the person wearing heavy armor removes points of damage. That's another thing I love. I love the idea of removing hit points just because of that. But there's also a lot of supplements for this game too. I shouldn't say a lot, but yeah. I have like the Sith book, I have the Jedi book. I got one for like a bunch of NPCs. I've considered buying the one for multiple alien races, but I don't want to go too crazy and weird with the races, but I do plan in the future of running a Star Wars game where the players are playing, what are they called? Purge Troopers. I want to do a game where the players are playing Purge Troopers and they are trying to hunt down a Jedi who's in hiding, and the Empire falls. So while this is going on, they're trying to hide their identity, and it kind of has like a Death Note feel at that point, because they're both trying to get each other to slip, to make the mistake, to reveal who they are. And yeah, so I do hope to run this one time soon. Lately it's been a lot easier for me to run new games for people, so this shouldn't be too hard for me. But yeah, I just wanted to pitch this one to you. If you don't like the idea of playing it with Dungeons and Dragons rules, because this is Dungeons and Dragons rules for the most part, and it's actually made by Wizards of the Coast, then I recommend checking out the other Star Wars games. West End Games, I hear a lot of good things on that one. I'll be frank, I have not gotten my hands on the book and looked at it. The other one, I have gone through the book quite a few times. I just didn't care for it. It's not my style. It's not bad, but I'm not the one to advertise it. So, yeah, if you're trying to look for the perfect Star Wars game system, try looking at those or look at this. You can find this on eBay pretty easily, and see you guys next time. Happy May 4th.